My name is Karan, and on behalf of 5G 6G Center of Excellence and
Karan,
Initiative.
can you please wait for a couple of minutes? We are being live streamed. As soon as we go live, I'll intimate you, then you can start.
Oh,
We are live on YouTube right now. You can go ahead, Karan.
a very good afternoon, everyone. My name is Karan. On behalf of 5G 6G Center of Excellence and Initiative by Startup in UP, Government of Uttar Pradesh, I am delighted to welcome you to the sixth session of our 5G 6G webinar series. Today's session is titled Advanced MedTech with 5G and 6G and the opportunities and challenges linked with it. And this will be led by Dr. Dipti Chugh, who is domain head in MedTech and Biotech at SIEC IT Kanpur. She brings over 10 years of experience in MedTech and Biotech domain. She will take us through how next generation connectivity technologies like 5G and 6G are set to revolutionize the MedTech landscape from smart diagnostic to connected healthcare system. So, without any further ado, I would like to request Dr. Dipti Chugh to take over the session.
Thank you, Karan, for the warm introduction. I welcome you all to the today's webinar. I'll share my screen and then we can start from there. So I hope you are able to see my screen.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So yeah. So today I will be talking about this topic, advancing medtech with 5G and 6G, its opportunities and challenges. So before starting with the topic, I would like to make a statement that I am not a domain expert of 5G and 6G technology per se. So today I have been asked to talk about this topic, how these technologies can be used in revolutionizing the healthcare and medical technology. So I would talk more about the applications of these technologies in the medtech field, what are the opportunities that we have, and what are the challenges and considerations that we need to look for before we apply these technologies in the medical field. So with that introduction, I would like to give a brief overview of the 5G technology with the brief knowledge that I have in this field. So, as you all know, it is one of the latest advancement in the wireless communication system. So, it's the fifth generation of cellular communication that is designed for its higher speed and lower latency and very good connectivity. So, with this technology, we have a broadband connection with with the signals, with the data transfer rates of about 10 gigabits per second. So, it's very fast and the latency is very low as less than 1 millisecond. So what it allows is that the delay between the time when you send the signals and when you receive the signals, that delay has been shortened to less than 1 millisecond. So what it allows you to do is to do the real time data monitoring, data computing. All those applications can be achieved with this kind of technology. So again, a very brief overview of the underlying technology that we are going to talk today in the presentation. So the 5G technology, the two most crucial components that are present in this technology is one is MIMO, which stands for multiple input, multiple output, and beamforming technology. They are the crucial components of the 5G technology that gives its characteristics of great speed and lower latency. That is very important for faster data transfer. So what it does in MIMO is like you have one base station and then you have multiple antennas that allows you to send signals and receive signals from these multiple antennas. And the beamforming, what it does is it focuses the radio signal to a specific user device. And that's how that particular signal that becomes very strengthened, and you get a very good connectivity to individual mobile devices. So a large network of multiple antennas and the beamforming technology is what makes this 5G technology as a more reliable and higher speed data transfer or data connectivity technology, cellular technology. So some of the key aspects of 5G technology that we have is, as I talked about, is its speed. Of course, the data can be transferred with in a speed of like gigabits, several gigabits per second, and it utilizes the higher frequency radio bands and the lower latency, which is as low as 1 millisecond, so which allows the real-time responsiveness when the data is being transferred. And spectrum-wise, it uses a wide range of spectrum, comprising both low-band spectrum that offers wider coverage and the high-band spectrum that provides extremely high data rates over shorter distances. So depending on the need and the application, it can allows either wider coverage or very high data speed over shorter distances. Then there is a feature called network slicing. So which is a very crucial feature of 5G technology. It's basically a way of partitioning your one physical infrastructure, your one base station into multiple virtual networks that you can basically, customize it to your needs. So let's say in one of the connection you want, signals to be with higher speed, such as you want some transmission or streaming of high resolution video, then, you want higher speed to be there. So then you can have that virtual network specified for that purpose. And another virtual network where you want extremely low latency, where you do not want any delay between the signals. So then, for the real-time medical applications, when you want the data to be transferred in real time, then, you can use a line or virtual network with lower latency. So in this way, you can use one physical infrastructure into multiple virtual networks with specified custom that is customized for specific needs. So it enables efficient resource allocation and improves the quality of service on a physical network. Then, of course, the applications of this 5G technology is in IoT devices, the smart devices, some of which we will be talking in terms of healthcare today. And then there are these revolutionary applications you all have heard about: the augmented reality, virtual reality, so robotics, telemedicine, that are all possible because of the this advancement in the 5G and the 6G technology that is happening. So with that introduction in 5G technology, we go on to more, talk about its use cases in different sectors. So it has actually revolutionized in multiple sectors, including healthcare, that we'll talk in more detail in the later slides. And in addition to healthcare, we have applications in agriculture, where one wants to collect the soil health data and have weather prediction data being transmitted in real time for smart farming. So that is the application in the agriculture field. And in having the smart cities, where transportation, for example, there are self-driving cars that are prevalent. That is an idea in having, when we think about smart cities. So that is all possible because of this 5G 6G technology. And entertainment, of course, the streaming of high resolution video images, gaming experiences, AR, VR experiences, all those can be possible with this technology. And why education? Because these days we know, many virtual classrooms are being arranged, especially after COVID. I think this has taken up. We are actually using technology when we are doing the virtual education, and not only just the theoretical education, but practical education when it comes to the, for example, any skillful training like surgical practices. Those things can be done more in an immersive experience using AR, VR technology. So these all things are possible with this 5G and 6G technology that we are taking up today. So, as I mentioned that today I'll focus on, the role of or the application of this 5G and 6G in healthcare field, and that is what we'll talk in detail now. So, in this slide describes the different use cases in healthcare, in thinking about smart hospital care, remote diagnosis, VR technology. There are wearable devices. There are ambulances that are enabled with 5G, so that, when a patient is traveling in the ambulance, then their vital information, like, their ECG and heart rate and blood pressure, all those body vital data can be sent to their doctors, so that appropriate treatment plan is devised as soon as the patient arrives at the hospital, so that there is no loss of time. So these mobile ambulances with the 5G technology being enabled, of course, helps in the quicker treatment strategies and, of course, the diagnosis of the disease. So these are some of the applications that we have with respect to the 5G technology in healthcare, and we'll talk a little bit in more detail as we go forward. So talking about telemedicine, I think the concept of telemedicine has become much more, prominent and advanced after the COVID-19 pandemic hit us. Then, during that pandemic, we realized the importance of, when we are sitting at home and we want to have a suggestion on our disease and, treatments. So we have video consultation with the doctors, because sometimes doctors are not available, or you are not available, you cannot go out to the hospital because of the pandemic. So then the telemedicine role becomes very, very important. And it is very important that the network connectivity that is required for a good telemedicine approach and remote patient care, then these emerging cellular technologies, which provides higher speed and more reliable signals, so that the video consultations can happen reliably without cutting and dropping of the calls in between. That can cause a hindrance to the to both the patient and the doctor, and it delays the whole diagnosis and treatment plans. So real-time data transmission and improved device connectivity, of course, offers scalability and coverage to the rural areas. Now, even if a patient is sitting in the rural area and if he cannot travel to, an urban area where the specialists are sitting, so we can connect remotely through video consultations, and they can get the diagnosis and the treatment plans device. Even, like, for getting the second opinions for the cancer diagnosis, people are using telemedicine quite a lot in these days. You being sitting in India, and if you want to have second opinion for your cancer diagnosis and cancer treatment plans, you can set up a call with the specialist sitting in the US, who is one of the expert in the field. And without network connectivity, we wouldn't have been able to do that. So definitely these emerging wireless cellular technologies do play an important role in revolutionizing the healthcare, and also to provide healthcare to all the people irrespective of their geographical location and the expertise that is available in their particular region. So talking about IoT enabled devices, these days we know that we have a series of wearable devices, that can monitor your sugar levels, your cholesterol levels, and non-invasively your BP, ECG, and talking about the brain, your EEG can be monitored continuously. These vital informations can be monitored continuously using the wearable devices. And what they allow you to do is, these wearable and remote monitoring devices can send the patient data using 5G networks, and that can help in, early diagnosis, accurate diagnosis of the disease, as well as, personalized treatment plans. Because once you have, that real-time data of the patient's different body parameters, the correct treatment plan can be devised, which is appropriate for that particular patient, because this is what the precision medicine is coming into action. Not everyone suffering from one disease would take the same treatment. So because everybody's bodies are a little bit different, so there's this concept of now the precision medicine, that depending on your body status, your genetic background, your treatment strategies will be devised. And this is especially, I think, relevant in the especially in the cancer and other genetic disorders, where the body metabolism and the genetic heterogeneity of the individuals dictates how a particular treatment would work. So I think collecting the body information and transmitting it to these devices would really help in the precision medicine. So this allows us for the early detection of the anomalies. Your disease will get accurate diagnosis, and also the right treatment will be suggested by the doctors who are looking at your healthcare data in real time using this cellular technologies like 5G. So then there is a very good hype, I think, now about the augmented reality and virtual reality experiences. You would have gone to shopping malls, and there video games are there. You wear those VR glasses and you create, you see the particular thing in a virtual environment. So how that whole thing is happening, like even the entertainment is involving these 5G and mobile wireless technologies. In healthcare, especially, 5G enables the high quality AR, VR experiences. Um, this is not now a fantasy. It is actually happening in the US. For instance, the University of in California in San Francisco, they are using virtual reality to train surgeons for complex surgical procedures in the hospital. So the medical education trainings are happening, using VR simulations. So earlier, what used to happen was, the doctors used to get training from their senior doctors, and they used to actually use the real human body to learn the surgical procedures. But now, with the advent of these 5G and 6G emerging technologies, these VR applications, the experiences can be more real. The VR simulations that they do, that allows you to basically go through that whole process virtually without having to actually harm the patient directly. So, immersive medical training experiences and surgical simulations are allowing for a very good medical education platform. The Mayo Clinic in the US is using augmented reality to guide surgeons during a surgery, basically. So what is happening is, the AR, the augmented reality, it displays the real-time information of the patient's anatomy, so that during a surgical procedure, which helps the surgeons to make right incisions or correct incisions during surgery. So these, of course, AR VR applications is a way step forward, not just in the medical education but also in surgical procedures in real time. And that is all because of the highly reliable and high speed connectivity that we get with these mobile cellular technologies. Robotic surgery, of course, I think the advancement of 5G technology has caused a paradigm shift in the realm of remote surgery that are happening. So the ultra low latency of the 5G network that allows to transmit the surgeon's instructions to the robotic instruments, and that allows seamless real-time movements of the robotic device without any delay. Otherwise that would be detrimental for the patient's safety. So these robotic surgeries, surgeons, what they do is they give the signals to the robotic devices, and because of the very low latency of the signal, the movements of the robotic device happens very fast, and that's how it is really revolutionizing the remote surgeries. And it has been happening in the developed countries so far, and India is picking up on that as well. I already talked a little bit about, the precision medicine and personalized healthcare. So as I said that, we are human being, but, all of us have a different body makeup, the metabolism is different, the genetic heterogeneity is there. So of course, nowadays, doctors, what they want is they want to collect your body vital information and genetic data in order to come up with the accurate diagnosis and personalized treatment plans. So 5G facilitates the collection and analysis of vast amount of patient data. So this was not possible before because the amount of genetic data, for example, is so much that, to store that data, to collect that data, and then to compute that data using because we didn't have AI or machine learning before. So with the advent of all these technologies, Internet of Medical Things, wearable devices, biosensors, remote monitoring devices, so those devices are continuously, they are collecting the data from the patients in real time. And 5G ensures that the data that has been collected is available for analysis promptly so that the decisions can be taken by the doctor in appropriate time. So using and healthcare providers are also, leveraging artificial intelligence and 5G to identify patterns and predict outcomes and personalize treatment plans based on individual patient characteristics, genetic information, and historical data. Of course, security of the data that becomes a very important because it's a very personal data of the patients, and we are transferring the data in real time to different people. So cybersecurity becomes a great challenge. So 5G incorporates robust security measures to ensure the privacy and integrity of patient data during transmission. So, by leveraging all these capabilities of 5G, healthcare providers are, using the power of big data and real advanced analytics to come up with the personalized treatment plans for the patients. So now I talk a little bit about, how 5G and 6G is revolutionizing the life sciences research in the labs, where the discoveries are happening. So lab-wise, if you see, now we have something called smart research facilities, wherein we can have, because of these 5G, 6G technologies, you can monitor your research equipments real time, that enables you for the real time data analysis. Then 5G facilitates the real-time data collection in the clinical trials. So the studies that are happening, where you want to find out whether this drug is working or not. So all those clinical trials, the data that is coming out from the patients can be collected in real time and can be analyzed at the same time. So, and also using AI and machine learning algorithms. Now, pharma companies are accelerating the drug discovery and development program because with the classical methods, drug discovery takes a long span of time, about like 8 to 10 years. Now with the advent of AI and machine learning, this process has been accelerated. And of course, the network connectivity is a major advancement that has enabled the researchers to use these AI algorithms for the drug discovery. So this is how we can see that, the life sciences sector, the research sector is also being advanced through the 5G and 6G technologies. Of course, whenever there is a new and emerging technology, there are some, of course, challenges and considerations that we need to keep in mind. One of the biggest consideration is the huge infrastructure cost that is associated with adoption of the 5G and 6G network. So of course the support from the government and is necessary to install these massive antennas and the associated infrastructure that is needed for these 5G networks. So we need to invest in the infrastructure. And network congestion is also a problem. Then, of course, many devices will be connected. So there will be an issues of network congestion with the high usage. Of course, the training and adoption barriers, because whenever there is a new thing or new technology coming up, there is always a hindrance or resistance from the community to adopt the new technology. So we have to create awareness programs, training programs, skill development programs, so that everyone is aware of these technologies, how to use them in their field, and how to basically get benefit out of those technologies in their sector, whatever they're working on. So training is definitely important. And I also initially talked about the importance of cybersecurity and data privacy, because it's a huge amount of data that is being transmitted wirelessly over large distances and to multiple people, multiple collaborators. Of course, the cybersecurity and data privacy becomes a very important consideration. And especially when it comes to healthcare, because they have to follow specific regulatory considerations. I think we are still in a very nascent stages of development in as far as this technology is concerned, and the new standard guidelines, regulatory considerations for 5G enabled healthcare devices is still at a very, very early stage. But these are some of the considerations that we have to, keep in mind if we want to really harness the true potential of these great technologies. So here I just summarize on, what are the recommendations for a successful 5G adoption. So the first thing is, of course, the, robust infrastructure investment. We have to put a lot of money to have the right infrastructure in place. And then we have to, it has to be integrated with the emerging technologies, whatever are coming in the way. And employee training and skill development is also important, as I said. And clear use case identification. We have to identify the cases where these technologies can be, transformative. And collaborative partnerships. I'll talk a little bit more about it in the later slides. What kind of partnerships are needed for successful 5G adoption? And of course, a very great work on regulatory compliance and data security is needed before we can successfully adopt these emerging technologies in our real life. So, as I was talking about, collaboration. So the dominant players in the cloud computing domain, for example, you have Microsoft is your Amazon Web Services and Google Cloud Platform. These are the companies that are already partnering with telecom carriers so that they create a robust ecosystem for 5G infrastructure deployment. Because without the collaboration of the cloud computing companies and the telecom carriers, the whole ecosystem will not be there to so as to harness the potential of these technologies in the real life. So that has been happening. And so now we talk a little bit about, what's the way forward and what is the 6G technology. I've not even spoken about, given an overview on the 6G yet. So it is, as you can say, it's a sixth generation cellular technology. It is actually in a very early research and development phase. And we expect that its rollout to be around after 2030. And the features of it is that it uses terahertz spectrum range, and the data rate, the transfer data rate would be of the order of 1 terabit per second. So it will be very fast. And of course, the latency will go as low as less than 0.1 millisecond. So the real-time data transfer, real-time applications would be in an unimaginable, I think, condition or space. And the coverage is expected to be up to 1,000 kilometers. So quite good coverage. And of course, it comes with enhanced reliability and edge intelligence. So there's a quotation by someone that in the quest for connectivity, each generation of wireless technology unveils new realms of possibility. Just as 5G reshaped our world, 6G promises to unveil even more profound dimensions of communication, uniting humanity and technology in ways we can only dream of. So, the power and the potential of these emerging, faster, reliable network connectivity technologies like 6G, I think there is a huge potential, but we have a long way to go, of course, towards that. So before we practically realize their power. So with that, I would like to conclude my presentation by saying that these mobile cellular network technologies, 5G and 6G, will redefine healthcare, by enhancing connectivity, precision, and accessibility. As I talked about telemedicine and IoT-enabled devices. But what is key, what is important is that we have, strategic investment and policy collaboration. They are key to unlock its full potential. So with that, I would stop here and I'm open for the questions if you have any. So Karan, if there are any questions, I would be happy to answer. If it is in my domain. Otherwise, if it's core 5G and 6G technology question, I think the IoT team experts are there in our 5G, 6G COE. So, yeah.
Okay, so I would like to invite our attendees to ask questions to Dr. Dipti ma'am, if they have any.
Uh, Hi, Deepti.
Hi.
So I have one question. So I think I know that you're working with the medtech startups, right? So most of the medtech startups may be coming from the medical domain, probably their expertise. So when they have to integrate technologies like 5G, 6G, or any other technologies, what are the challenges they're facing, and what maybe possibly can be done from SIS incubator or organization like these? So if you can share thoughts on that, it will be very great. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you, Charles. So definitely we have quite a good number of startups, medtech startups that are working in, either making a medtech device, diagnostic device, or screening devices. And they are all, I think 90% of the devices, they are enabling it with wireless technologies, like, they'll be transmitting the patient data or person's data to the mobile, and then through the app, the information goes to the doctor and it gives the treatment plan or diagnosis. So definitely, I think running a medtech startup, for example, does not just involve a person who has expertise in the medical field or biological sciences. Definitely, we know we need engineers. It's an interdisciplinary work, so it involves both engineers, doctors as well for the clinical feedback, and the researchers. So our companies, they usually hire interns and employees from IIT Kanpur community, either undergraduates or master students who are from maybe electrical background and related fields. So that's how I think they are working in their startup, getting the expertise and the talent from IIT Kanpur. And that's the advantage with SISC, because we are so closely associated with IIT Kanpur student community, and also the faculties, the experts are there to guide the startups when it comes to a specific area. So definitely we have, for example, Professor Tushar Sandhan, who is actively helping our medtech startups in these wireless and applications. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do anybody have any other questions? So we are happy to take it.
Or I can share my, you can take my email address or phone number, and if there are questions later on, we can take up the questions through that channel as well. I think Aditya has some question. Aditya, you want to ask something?
One second, we'll just ask the
Yeah,
admin to unmute Aditya.
yeah, sure.
Hello.
Yes, Aditya, please.
Uh, uh, Good afternoon, ma'am. I think it's a great session. Basically, I'm working from Dentifrice Private Limited, which
Okay.
deals with assembling, AI-based treatment planning and solutions in dental
Yes,
care. But
yes,
I don't know how much it associated to that. But these are few questions that I have that, connectivity and wireless products are there. But when we were trying to embed it, the more compliances are coming into play, despite being non-invasive. So we realized that adding this technology into our hardware is going to have a more compliant problems for us, and as a startup is going to cost us more money. So how do you
right,
guide us to have
right,
that kind of solution? And secondly, ma'am, is there any government plan or something going on to promote such startup? Because when we do our services in tier two, tier three cities, there the network is a big issue. So
right,
even if
right.
we have the setup there, what is the initiative the government is taking, or any technological assets that we can get to IT to make sure that we don't fail when we are operating as a wireless startup, healthcare startup in tier three or tier two cities.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you for the questions. I'll take the first question first, which is, the wireless. Yeah, you could talk about the regulatory compliance issues,
Yes.
and that is true. I mean, as I talked about, there are these challenges that are associated with the technology. The technologies have just come up. The 5G has come up in 2019. 6G is still in a very early R&D stage, so they are very, very, still emerging technologies. Many things have to be done. So the regulatory standards are not yet defined properly. And because we are now talking about the application of these technologies, so that is even newer. So, I mean, in India, it is still, I think, in a very early stage to adopt these technologies. And so we have to have a conversation with the regulatory people and discuss with them actually to come up with the standards so that you both actually work together, the regulatory agencies as well as the startups and the academic community. They work together to come up with the standards, the regulatory standards for these devices. So I think this is a work in progress, and it will take some time to to basically navigate through these regulatory considerations. We know that it's a uphill actually, and then adopting newer technologies with no standards existing before is definitely a big challenge. So I don't have solution for that. I would just what I can suggest is, of course, um, having an open discussion whenever there's a networking event with the regulatory officials. You talk to them, you discuss your case, and then maybe have a brainstorming session on coming up with the standards so that you can comply to those standards. So I think that is what I can suggest, and that is what has been working with many of the startups with us also, who are working on very new technologies for which no standards exist before. So then they are actually devising the standards. So I think that is a path that you can also take. And talking about the rural areas, implementing this, of course, 5G, as I told, one of the biggest consideration is infrastructure investment, and that is not a thing that will happen, in a day or two. So, of course, the government has already realized the importance and the relevance of these 5G and 6G technologies. And that's how it has, come up and funded all the centers of excellence so that the research can happen here. And also startups get the support through these COEs, I think what you can do is you can get in touch with the 5G 6G COE that we have at IIT Kanpur, which is supported by the Start in UP, the UP government. They have supported this program, and definitely you will get guidance from Dr. Neha, and Charles is there taking care of the COE. So they should be able to see like how the government is kind of promoting or helping to have the infrastructure investment in the rural area so that it can be realized. So I think these are amazing technologies, but as with any other amazing technology, it takes time for its successful adoption, and of course it takes investment as well. Without putting in enough money to support the whole ecosystem that that enables you to use the technology, there is no use of the technology otherwise. I mean, you can't harness the full potential. So definitely you need those sessions have to be held. You need to have conversation with the government officials, and I think this is how we can take it forward. I don't
Thank
have
you, Anju.
solution for now, but I
No, no,
just
but
have
you
these
actually,
thoughts
yeah, I
in
understand.
mind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because the major issue is that funding is an issue, and I think I'll be reaching out regarding that also. But thank you, and
Yes.
we are looking for compliances. I think we can connect
Yeah.
later for that.
Great.
Thank you,
Great. Great. All the best. All the best.
thank
Yeah.
you, pleasure.
So I think we are at the end of this session. So if any one of you have any questions, so you can always reach out to the 5G 6G Center of Excellence team. You can find our website as well, and there you can find our email ID. So as a vote of thanks, I heartfully thank Dr. Deepthi Chugh. I know she has a very busy schedule with all the MedTech programs, BIRAC, BIG, and MedTech startups, but she took out time and she accepted a request and came here to actually, she worked on how 5G, 6G can help medtech startups, and she gave delivery a speech here. I'm in the talk here. So thank you, Dr. Deepthi, for your wonderful lecture and your wonderful time. So, and all the startups who are here and who also seeing us on YouTube Live. So we request and we welcome you to 5G, 6G Center of Excellence, IIT Kanpur. There are a lot of opportunities in terms of mentoring, funding, etc. So please do visit us, please see what we are doing, and we'll be very happy to support you. So thank you, everyone. I wish you a great day.
Thank you, Charles, and it was a wonderful session. I think I enjoyed going through the new topic that was not my domain, but it was very exciting. Yeah.
Yes, yeah,
Thank
thank you.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.